Stand up.
Unless your fingers show me. We're just detained right now. Under arrest.
So you said that you were coming in here to find out about the fraud?
Yeah, I've been calling these guys for weeks. It's been like...
This interaction raises three core legal questions. Was each stage of the seizure supported by the required level of suspicion? Was the timing of the rights advisory consistent with Supreme Court doctrine? And did the subject's alleged conduct actually satisfy the elements of the charged offense?
So you're detained right now. We got a call that it might be a possible fraud for a certain amount.
That's why I literally came in here. I've been coming to you guys' office like a few days now.
I got you. You don't arrest.
Yeah, we're just trying to investigate. All right, just step out real quick.
Sorry, just go on. You can't keep moving. You have to put on outside.
All right. No weapons, right?
No, I'm good, bro.
So you said that you were coming in here to find out about the fraud?
Yeah, I've been calling these guys for weeks. It's been like, I don't know, a few. So I don't even use these accounts in months.
Okay.
I don't even have a point because I have other business accounts, and I've had them for like years.
Okay.
And then I got like a notice. I tried to log in online. I couldn't log in online. I called over the phone. They basically told me I had to come in and like pay some fees.
Okay.
I came in.
Let's walk back here. So this your wallet right here?
Yeah.
Your ID in here?
He has my ID.
Oh, you got it? All right. Let's walk over there. Yes. 616 Copy of Florida 27. Yeah, you good. You good.
Long story short, boss, I had some accounts with these guys that I've had for a long time. I tried to log in online one day, it wouldn't let me log in. Eventually, I found out there were just some fees that, like, because there was just old accounts.
Yeah.
And they asked me to come pay the fees. I went and paid the fees. They told me everything was fine. I got a few text messages saying, like, basically, that I use his cards, basically. And I didn't, but I had called, and they told me basically the fraud department was closed. So I went back in the office. They told me basically I had to call when fraud was open. I called fraud. Basically, they told me that I had to come back in here because they don't. They basically couldn't help me over the phone, and so I'm here now. I don't know even what accounts is even in regards to. They won't even tell me what accounts is.
Okay, so you opened the account and you haven't used it for years. You're saying that
it depends on what account. Like some accounts not for months.
Okay, yeah. So for months, and you got some notifications that you got possible fraud with the accounts, and now you coming in here because you had some fees related to some of the accounts.
Well, no, I already paid the fees.
Okay, so you paid the fees.
Yeah, so
you were just. So what were you doing in here to find out about the fraud?
Yeah.
Okay.
To see what they think is fraud or whatever.
Okay. Because how did you get the notification through?
It was a
text or something?
a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is like my second or third time
trying to come in
figure
here.
out. Yeah. Because the other time I went, they told me everything was fine.
Did you go to this one or Tampa?
Tampa.
South Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when was the first notification?
When I was looking at my phone.
Okay. All right. Let me you mind signing up? Yeah.
Okay, say that again, Anthony.
So we're filing against Mr. Stocker because he presented several stolen checks that we had to pay back to the financial institution. So Mr. Stocker owes us $29,731.01. I have also filed this with the U.S. Postal investigators, but the fact that he's back on our property, we don't want him around.
He explained to you right now that you're not currently under arrest, you're just being detained?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just a little shaken. I wasn't expecting any of this. So.
Okay. It seems like when they ran your name in their system, it's flagged for some reason that you're a suspect in a fraud case against GTE.
Oh, okay.
So whatever they're investigating, whether it's an internal investigation or if it's something criminal, but as soon as he ran your name, it popped and flagged. So.
So for something like this, do you give the person like a chance to pay it? Because he said he came in here Several times he went to the South Tampa location to try and figure out like the fees. I guess he said it was fees that he had certain accounts opened up.
No, so he deposited stolen checks they're easily stolen. He's not a trustee for the trust account that he presented these trusts, and he filed a bogus filing on Sunbiz. So I've been working with the U.S. Postal investigators because he stole several checks. But I called him, I spoke to his mother, I told him you owe us 29 grand and we're gonna file against you and don't ever come back to GTE. Then he came and he opened new accounts. So we want him trespassed and we want our money, he committed fraud for GTE.
Do you guys have a case open with a police department or anything? Where did he deposit the checks? Which location?
I think it might be South Tampa.
South Tampa and here.
In this location?
Yes.
So the amount that was. So how much was the check that was done here in this location?
$29,739.01.
That was what he deposited here or withdrew here?
Yep.
Okay. Because you said something about South Tampa. Was it all here at this location?
Oh yeah, so sorry. Yeah, South Tampa was the 29. That one was $11,052.29, and we have since then received the reclamation for that check. So both checks have returned. So he actually owes us $40,791.30.
I was just in South Tampa, GT, for 3 hours trying to get everything straightened out. They told me everything was fine. So why would...
Okay. What's that? We don't know either. We'll figure it out. Whether it's something that Tampa's investigating or something that they're internally investigating. We're not really sure yet. So.
I haven't used accounts in months.
Okay.
I was just trying to log in and see.
Do you usually typically use GTE for your financial institution?
To be honest, I stopped. This is ironic. I stopped.
But you still have active accounts here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have a few accounts Navy. Most of them with Navy Fed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a veteran?
No, my dad and granddad are.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't get notification until June that the checks were a fake check. That's what Wells Fargo, I guess they were doing their investigation.
You have video footage of the person who actually deposited the check?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
We need to see that and make sure it's the same person, because if not, then...
Okay, yeah, hang on one second. Let me attach that as well. Yeah, I have everything right here. So it's definitely him. He's pretty,
That's all we really need.
Yeah. Positive
We
identity.
can charge him with whatever we want. We can trespass him.
And you want to file charges, right?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Sit forward real quick. No, just sit up, move, shift forward. There you go. All right. I'm gonna release. What is it? This one that hurts or this one? This one. Okay.
Deposit the check?
Yep. That's it.
Sure is. Yeah. You print the picture out and the check and all that. Okay. That'd be perfect. That's all we really need.
Yeah, they're getting the information now, so we'll see what's going on.
Currently, he deposited $11,000 in this location. So they're at $11,000 from here, $29,000 from somewhere in South Tampa. There's no open investigation anywhere.
Okay.
They just do the postal investigative unit or something through the post office.
Okay.
So we have $11,000 here at fraud.
Okay.
So we can go off that.
All right. You guys think I stole $11,000?
Do you deposit $11,000 check here?
I haven't deposited a check in so long. I don't even know,
Happened on February 2nd.
in February, I don't know what.
Yeah, I get you. We'll make sure. Hold on. Huh? Yeah. We're at 17. We have a picture of him depositing the check. It's in. And we have the check, we have everything. So we're just gonna get the evidence and take him, and charge him and all that. Yeah, he's 10-15.
So there's two separate locations
Yeah.
that he hit?
Mm-hmm. We're he's somewhere in South Tampa.
But they have not contacted TPD yet about it?
Mm-hmm. We'll let him know, and then they can. He'll be in jail already, so they can just add charges.
And when he deposited the check?
February 2nd.
No, is it just a bad check?
Yeah.
Okay.
11,000 here, 29,000.
Okay.
He's down 40,000.
Okay.
They're printing everything out for us, and then we're gonna give him the Axon link.
Okay.
And they're gonna upload all. He has a case file and everything. He's gonna upload to Axon.
Okay.
Everything we really need.
All right. You transporting or is somebody else
We'll
transporting?
take it.
Okay.
So you guys think the checks are deposited or fraud?
So as of right now,
As of right now, you are under arrest. Okay, for check fraud. Okay. Basically, with the checks that you deposited, supposedly they're saying were bad checks back in February. One here, one down in South Tampa. They put money in your account that was not technically yours.
so they have video of you actually depositing the check,
Yeah.
and the checks are bad.
Checks are bad.
But I mean, that's back in February. What was
Yeah,
wrong
no,
with the check?
the money they got deposited in there was bad. So like they actually are out of money. So they actually are down 40,000. I don't know where you got those checks from, but
Those checks were from our business, so it was Fargo.
yeah. So they were bad checks.
Whatever account those checks are written off of to you was a bad account,
Yeah.
or it was insufficient funds or whatever. So. Fully agree. You can read them, Miranda.
Okay.
If you want to interrogate.
Yeah. I'll, once we get to the car,
What's up?
once we get to the car, I'll read it and.
As for right now, they are the victim. I mean,
Yeah, the bank is a victim.
since they lost money. I mean, if you receive money that you are not supposed to,
Future 1 male, 1015.
Support 1015.
Can you guys give me an update on, I guess?
Yeah. So right now they have you on a depositing and withdrawing on a fraudulent check. So the check was cashed for 11,000 and change. It looks like the post office right here. Okay. The post office flagged you for, I guess, using these stolen checks. And then once they came back, then because once we run your name, it's flagged. You see? So, all right. Right now, I'm gonna search you, and then I'm gonna read you your rights. Okay? Searching. No. Just your face. Yeah. Have you sit down. Wait. Let me unbuckle this real quick.
Try not to lean on the cuffs, or it's gonna dig into your skin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say again?
Don't lean on the cuff, so just lean forward a little bit. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you willing to answer questions or make a statement without an attorney being present? That's a question. No?
No.
All right.
The Fourth Amendment recognizes 3 tiers of contact. A consensual encounter requires no suspicion. An investigative detention under Terry v. Ohio requires reasonable, articulable suspicion. And a full arrest requires probable cause under Beck v. Ohio. Here, handcuffs marked the seizure. The bank's sworn complaint supplied reasonable suspicion. And documentary evidence, plus surveillance identification, ripened into probable cause under the totality of circumstances test from Illinois versus Gates. The more significant concern is timing. Miranda versus Arizona requires warnings before custodial interrogation. Berkemer versus McCarty clarifies that custody turns on whether a reasonable person would feel free to leave. And Rhode Island versus Innis adds that interrogation includes not only direct questions, but also their functional equivalent. A handcuffed suspect questioned about the suspected offense is in custody by any ordinary measure. Yet warnings were delayed roughly 12 minutes, and statements from that window face suppression risk, though volunteered explanations typically survive under Innis.
Can I ask you a quick question? Can I call my mom?
You're going to have that opportunity at ORJ. Once we get there.
Okay.
All right?
I was supposed to pick her up from an appointment.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
At like 9, I think somewhere between like 9:45.
Is she at the place now, or are you picking her up from her house to get to her appointment?
No, she was probably at the sorry, this is so much. Sorry.
All right, so
no, she's at the car repair place, and so I just wanted to tell her. Or
do you have sisters or brothers that could pick her up if she calls you?
Family?
No, I'm not only child. It's probably.
That's your mom. You want me to answer?
Yeah.
All right. You have a few minutes just to let her know.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, mom. Hey, listen. I'm being arrested right now because
let her know for what.
I know. I'm being arrested right now. They think that I have some kind of check fraud situation going on. And I don't know which jail are you guys taking me to?
Orient Road Jail.
Oregon Road Jail. So I need you. Yes, mom. Listen to me. So I need you. Basically, like GTE is saying that. I guess 2 of the checks, from like business checks or whatnot. Like they didn't get the money back from it. And basically, so they're saying that it's check fraud. And they didn't let me know anything about, like, I guess, like, them not being paid. This is, like, back from February is what they're saying.
Well, this one is from February.
Yeah, I don't know the exact dates, I guess. They haven't given me all the information. But, yeah, I don't know. I wish they would have just let me know the money wasn't there, because I could have just paid them the money. It doesn't make any sense.
So what do you want me to do?
I guess I'm just going to have to wait until I get out of...
All right, just let her know you're gonna be there.
I'm gonna be in Oregon jail, and
Okay.
I guess I need you to figure out how to get me out whenever what is it?
Yeah,
Like
you have the opportunity to call her at the jail. All right.
Also, it's still early. It's possible we might be able to get out early if we see a judge today.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
On the substantive law, Florida Statute Section 831.02, uttering a forged instrument has 3 elements: tendering a written instrument, knowledge it is false or forged, and intent to defraud. A check drawn on the defendant's own account with insufficient funds is a different offense entirely. Fitting Florida Statute Section 832.05, the worthless check statute, or potentially no crime at all if fraudulent intent cannot be proven. The distinction between a forged instrument and a dishonored, genuine instrument is central to any defense. The officers earn a B+, with textbook probable cause and minimal force, docked only for Miranda timing. The subject earns a C+, physically compliant, but strategically undermined by voluntary narration before any rights were read. GTE Financial earns an A- for disciplined evidence preservation and federal coordination. 2 lessons emerge. Officers should advise rights the moment an encounter moves past preliminary orientation, and citizens should remember that the right to remain silent is a shield that only works when exercised before the record is built. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our channel for even more police interaction and courtroom content.
I couldn't log in online. I called over the phone. They basically told me I had to come in and like pay some fees. You guys think I stole $11,000?
Do you deposit $11,000 check here?
I haven't deposited a check in. I don't even know. Like,
Happened in February 2nd.
in February. I don't know what.
When you deposit the check?
February 2nd.
Is it just a bad check? Okay.
11,000 here, 29,000.
Okay.
He's down 40,000.
Okay.